Breaking news! With Election Day only days away, a massive scandal has erupted over allegations that voting machines may have been hacked. Face-screaming in fear reports are emerging that critical swing states could be affected, leaving both parties in a state of panic. Insiders claim that security breaches were detected but kept under wraps to avoid mass public concern. Could this be a targeted attack on democracy, or is there more to the story? Experts warn that if these allegations are true, the integrity of the entire election could be at stake. We're talking about the potential to sway millions of votes, said one cybersecurity analyst. Officials are scrambling to investigate, while public outcry grows louder by the hour. Protesters have already gathered outside government buildings, demanding answers and transparency before the nation casts its votes. Politicians from both sides are calling for immediate action, with some urging for Election Day to be postponed until the issue is resolved. Voters are on edge, wondering if their ballots will be secure or if the outcome is already compromised. Stay tuned as this story unfolds and we dig deeper into the potential impact of this explosive scandal. As the story spreads, government officials are under immense pressure to address the allegations. Calls are growing for a full investigation, and the urgency is palpable. Election security teams have been deployed in high-risk states, and local officials are being briefed on potential threats. The question on everyone's mind: could this breach change the outcome of the election? Political leaders from both parties are demanding swift action, emphasizing that the integrity of the electoral process is at stake. Some are even suggesting that a delay in Election Day might be necessary until the machines can be verified. This unprecedented possibility has intensified the atmosphere, with voters anxiously awaiting updates on whether their ballots will be secure. Cybersecurity experts are weighing in, warning that if this hack is confirmed, it would represent one of the most significant breaches in modern election history. Some analysts suggest that the attack may have been highly targeted, focusing on key states to sway the vote. The implications are far-reaching, as experts discuss how a compromised election could impact public trust in democracy. Meanwhile, the public is reacting with outrage and concern. Protests are erupting across major cities, with citizens demanding transparency and accountability. "We deserve a fair election," read one protester sign, capturing the sentiment of many who fear their vote might not count. These protests are drawing large crowds as voters unite in their demand for answers. The allegations have also sparked an international response, with foreign leaders expressing concern about the potential impact on global stability. Countries around the world are closely monitoring the situation, as America's election integrity has a ripple effect on democratic values worldwide. Diplomatic officials are urging calm while underscoring the need for immediate resolution. Political commentators are speculating on the potential fallout if the hack is confirmed. Some argue that an election compromise would leave lasting scars on the nation, eroding trust in the democratic process. Others fear it could lead to even more division, as voters begin to question the legitimacy of their own government. The stakes couldn't be higher, as this scandal unfolds in real time. Social media is abuzz with theories, opinions, and reactions as people share their perspectives on the alleged hack. Hashtags like #ProtectOurVote and #ElectionHack are trending, with users calling for transparency and stronger cybersecurity measures. This outpouring of concern highlights just how critical election integrity is to the American public. In the political arena, candidates are issuing statements to reassure their supporters. Both parties are promising to get to the bottom of these allegations, emphasizing their commitment to democracy. For many candidates, addressing the scandal has become an unexpected focal point, overshadowing their final campaign efforts as they scramble to respond to voter concerns. Election officials are now tasked with the monumental job of verifying voting machines nationwide. They are working with cybersecurity teams to test and secure systems before Election Day, a task made even more challenging by the short time frame. These efforts are critical in restoring public confidence, but many voters worry it may be too little, too late. Some experts are suggesting that this alleged hack could lead to a permanent shift in how elections are conducted. They propose increased oversight, stronger cybersecurity measures, and even a return to paper ballots in vulnerable regions. While these ideas are gaining support, implementing such changes in a matter of days presents a logistical nightmare. The leak has intensified the scrutiny on electronic voting machines, with some critics arguing that their vulnerabilities have been ignored for too long. They point to past incidents and urge officials to reconsider the role of digital systems in elections. As the debate over election security continues, the call for more robust, tamper-proof systems is growing louder. As Election Day draws closer, many Americans are questioning whether they can trust the outcome. The allegations have shaken their confidence, and they're looking to officials for reassurance. This uncertainty has added a new layer of tension, with voters worried about the accuracy and fairness of an election already marked by intense division. In response to public demand, several high-profile cybersecurity firms have offered their services to help investigate and secure voting systems. These firms have years of experience and are known for their work in protecting corporate and government data. Their involvement has given some voters hope that measures are being taken to protect the integrity of their vote. Politicians are also under pressure to address the allegations, as voters demand accountability and immediate action. Some have even suggested creating a bipartisan commission to oversee election security, hoping this will reassure the public. Others warn that such a move might only add to the chaos, especially with Election Day fast approaching. If the allegations are confirmed, the consequences could be severe for those involved. Legal experts suggest that any confirmed tampering could lead to criminal investigations and potential charges. This has heightened the stakes for election officials, as they work tirelessly to uncover the truth and secure the voting process before the nation heads to the polls. For the average voter, the allegations have added stress to an already contentious election season. Many are frustrated, feeling that their right to a secure, fair election is being threatened. This has spurred record turnout at early voting locations, as people rush to cast their ballots before any further complications arise. News of the alleged hack has also led to discussions about the future of election technology. Some officials are considering a move to blockchain-based voting systems, arguing that it would provide greater transparency and security. This debate underscores the need for innovative solutions as the country grapples with the vulnerabilities of current voting methods. In Congress, lawmakers are already preparing to launch hearings on election security, with plans to investigate both the alleged hack and broader vulnerabilities in the system. These hearings could bring sweeping changes to election laws and set new standards for future elections. The hope is that such measures will prevent similar crises from arising in the future. Election Day is approaching fast, and officials are racing against the clock to address the alleged hack. The stakes are high, and the urgency is unprecedented, with every moment bringing new developments. For now, the focus remains on securing voting systems, but many wonder if the damage to public trust can be undone. As more information emerges, voters are left questioning whether they can trust their own government to protect their votes. This scandal has revealed a deep-seated vulnerability, one that some fear could be exploited in future elections. The challenge now is restoring confidence in a system that millions depend on to uphold democracy. Local officials are scrambling to reassure their communities, holding press conferences and public meetings to address concerns. They're emphasizing that every precaution is being taken to ensure the integrity of the vote. But as details of the alleged hack continue to unfold, their reassurances are met with a mix of relief and skepticism. If the allegations are disproven, some officials worry about the lasting impact on voter confidence. False or exaggerated claims of a hack could still damage the public's faith in the electoral process, fueling conspiracy theories and distrust. This potential fallout highlights the delicate balance officials must strike in addressing these allegations. This crisis has sparked discussions about the role of federal oversight in election security. Some advocates argue that national standards are needed to protect voting systems, while others believe that elections should remain under state control. This debate is likely to continue long after Election Day, as officials work to prevent future threats to election integrity. In the coming days, both campaigns are expected to address the scandal directly, with their strategies shaping voter perception. For candidates, ensuring voter confidence has become just as important as winning over undecided voters. They're navigating a delicate landscape, where every statement and action could influence the outcome. As Election Day draws nearer, some voters are expressing frustration over the lack of clear answers. They feel caught in a whirlwind of speculation and want definitive proof that their vote will count. This desire for clarity and transparency has put enormous pressure on election officials to deliver results that are beyond reproach. The pressure on cybersecurity teams is immense, as they work around the clock to investigate and secure voting systems. They know that every detail matters, with the eyes of the nation focused on their efforts. For these teams, failure is not an option, as the integrity of democracy itself rests on their work. As voters prepare to head to the polls, the tension surrounding these allegations has created an atmosphere of uncertainty. For many, this is more than just an election. It's a test of the nation's commitment to fair and secure democratic processes. Continuing the script for Police Car Light Massive Scandal. Voting machines allegedly hacked days before election, with 25 additional paragraphs. In the midst of this crisis, Community leaders are urging calm and encouraging voters to stay informed rather than jumping to conclusions. They emphasize that while these allegations are alarming, the facts are still emerging. Local officials are working closely with election authorities to address concerns and reassure citizens that their votes will be counted accurately. With Election Day looming, anxiety is palpable, and many Americans feel caught between the urgency of voting and the fear that their votes may be compromised. Voter advocacy groups are working overtime, encouraging citizens to participate while remaining vigilant. Their message is clear: participation is essential, and a strong voter turnout can be a powerful response to any threats against democracy. Election watchdogs have intensified their efforts to monitor the situation, mobilizing volunteers to observe voting locations and report any irregularities. They are coordinating with cybersecurity experts to detect signs of tampering in real time. Their efforts are intended to reassure voters and highlight the resilience of the electoral process despite recent security concerns. Amid the tension, some voters are finding solace in the resilience of local election officials, many of whom are determined to protect the integrity of the process. For these officials, this election is a defining moment, a chance to demonstrate the strength and adaptability of American democracy. Their commitment to transparency has become a rallying point for those who refuse to let fear dictate the future. Across the nation, citizens are finding creative ways to support each other and encourage voting. Community organizations are holding virtual town halls, discussing the importance of turnout despite the allegations. These groups hope to empower people to make informed decisions, reminding voters that their voice matters, even in challenging times. Some political analysts suggest that the scandal may inadvertently drive higher voter turnout, as citizens rally to defend their right to participate in a secure and fair election. For many, these allegations underscore the importance of each vote and reinforce the need to protect democratic institutions. This unexpected effect could change the course of the election. As Election Day nears, new information about the alleged hack continues to surface. Some tech experts are speculating that the breach could be more complex than initially thought, involving advanced methods that may take months to fully understand. This realization has further complicated efforts to secure voting systems in such a short time frame. In response to the crisis, both parties are calling on their supporters to remain vigilant and informed. Candidates are using their platforms to promote resources for secure voting, hoping to guide voters through this uncertain time. The unity shown in response to the scandal highlights a shared commitment to upholding democratic values. Meanwhile, election officials are working closely with tech companies to fortify voting systems. Some companies have donated resources to help secure the infrastructure, contributing personnel and expertise to strengthen defenses. These partnerships demonstrate a collective resolve to address vulnerabilities and ensure a secure Election Day experience. News outlets are dedicating significant airtime to cover the scandal, with experts analyzing potential motives and implications. Some suggest that the alleged hack could be part of a larger strategy to sow distrust in the electoral process. Regardless of the motive, the focus now is on addressing the issue to protect democracy and maintain public trust. For many voters, the scandal has highlighted the importance of digital literacy in the modern electoral process. Cybersecurity has become a central topic, and citizens are learning how technology impacts their voting experience. This newfound awareness could influence future elections, as more people demand transparency and accountability in voting technology. Legal teams are preparing for potential challenges, anticipating that questions surrounding the alleged hack could lead to contested results. Lawyers on both sides are preparing to respond to any irregularities, with the understanding that this election could end up being decided in the courts. The possibility of a prolonged legal battle looms over the election, adding to the tension. Amidst the chaos, a small but vocal group is calling for a return to simpler voting methods. Advocates for paper ballots argue that they are less susceptible to hacking, offering a level of security that electronic systems cannot. While this approach would be difficult to implement before Election Day, it's gaining traction as a potential solution for future elections. As Election Day approaches, campaigns are working to inspire confidence and encourage turnout despite the allegations. Both candidates are making public statements emphasizing the importance of civic duty, aiming to reassure voters that their voices will still be heard. The bipartisan response demonstrates the shared value of electoral participation, even in times of crisis. Election administrators are deploying additional poll workers and security staff to maintain order and address voter concerns. These measures aim to provide reassurance and a safe voting environment for all participants. By bolstering in-person support, officials hope to create a sense of normalcy amid the heightened anxiety surrounding the election. The scandal has brought heightened scrutiny to the companies responsible for election technology. Executives are being called to account, facing questions about the security of their systems and the steps they're taking to prevent further breaches. This pressure could lead to significant changes within the industry, as companies adapt to meet new demands for transparency. Some voters are taking matters into their own hands, encouraging friends and family to vote early to avoid potential complications on election day. This grassroots effort has created a wave of early participation, with record numbers casting their ballots in advance. This proactive approach reflects the resilience of voters determined to make their voices count. Political organizers are focusing on mobilizing young voters, who may be less influenced by the scandal. These organizers argue that young people, who are often more tech-savvy, could be crucial in securing the election outcome. By targeting youth outreach, they aim to bolster participation and ensure a balanced electorate. As the crisis unfolds, experts are predicting that this election could have lasting effects on the perception of digital voting. The controversy has sparked calls for reform, and election officials are expected to face increased scrutiny in the years to come. For many, this election represents a turning point, as voters demand a secure, transparent system for future generations. For the media, this story has underscored the importance of responsible reporting. Journalists are working to balance the need for transparency with the responsibility of preventing panic. Their coverage has become a critical source of information for the public, helping voters navigate the complexities of this unprecedented situation.